Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube number 114. Yay, welcome. It's Friday. Are you excited? I'm so excited it's here. Finally, it's been a while. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is about cross stitch and quilting and knitting and making oh my. But today we're going to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Normally, I try to come back every week on Friday to give you like a what have I been up to type of update in the making world. But once I tell you what I've been up to, you'll know exactly why I was gone last week. It is crazy town. But as I love to do, we're just going to run through a table of contents real quick so you know exactly what we're going to chat about today. Today, as I look at the table in front of me, is lots of stitching, lots of quilting, and a little bit of combo, both. There's no knitting today. I did work on my lion sweater, my pink and navy sweater that I am working on, but I'm on Sleeve Island. So it's just round and round on the sleeve. So hopefully next time I will have a more substantial update to share with you. So she's still sitting on the couch. I worked on her a little bit last night. But in the meantime, I do have some other stitches to share with you. I did give lots of work to the Peacorn. So I've got some Peacorn, which in case you don't know, in case it's your first time here, my Peacorn is the Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger by Scarlet Letter. You know, that huge one that everybody's doing, I feel like. But I'm working on that. She got a lot of love, I feel like, in the last 2 weeks. I did have a new start, a new finish. It's not fully finished, but it's fun. A little bit of zig and zag. I did pull out an old whip to get some fill-in on that, so I'm going to show you her. Looking at the table. And then I did work on a little bit of my Swoon along with my friend, so I have a block to share. And then the most exciting thing, at least for me, is to share with you what I have been doing that is like the combo thing. A little bit of stitching, a little bit of quilting. It is so much fun. I came up with something about 3 days ago. I was on a Zoom with some friends. Anyway, there's a story time, but it's a combo thing, and I'm super excited to share it to you. Then there's going to be a little bit of Tiger Lily shop update on the end. If you want to chat about Advent boxes, keeper clubs, 2025, what I'm going to do, and the plans, some stitchy plans for next year is kind of all going to be coming into it. So, and without further ado, let's just dive in. So first, because she's on the top and she deserves to just come out in her full glory, here is the Peacorn, the Peacock, the Unicorn, and the Badger. So as you know, I started over in the right corner. A lot of people are starting in the Peacock corner over here, but I wanted to start with the sun. So I think my last update 2 weeks ago, I had like half the sun done. So I have filled in the sun. I did the squirrel. Do you know how many browns are in the squirrel? I should have counted. I thought it was going to be fun. I think there's like 6 or 7 different tones of brown to give that squirrel its texture and fun. So much fun. Little aqua leaf. This is, you can see I started, this is a funky little floral-y thing. Another little upside down lily, it looks like to me. A butterfly. I'm setting myself up for some fill-in. That's my favorite part of this project. Let me show it to you just in case you are like, what is that? This is a Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger. And you can see I'm up in this top corner right here. I'm setting myself up for some football fill-in, some weekend fill-in. So this is all one color. And then I just did last night, filling in this bird. You can see I'm faintly trying to go across the border to get all the way across, just to make sure that I'm not going to do a full border connect, because I feel like the good thing is, even if I'm off, so far I haven't been off yet, which is pretty exciting on the counting and the things. Everything is meeting up as it's supposed to. When I came down and around and met back up, I actually met. Yay me, counting. So I am going to just continue to work kind of in this quadrant, but maybe at least get the top border. I know my fabric is big enough. I have no doubt. But I just want to get it over there. So in case I want to set myself up for a little, I want to get to the peacock. It's so cute. And then get some tree. Anyway, she got a lot of love. So much fun. Now, if you're wondering, this is on a 36 count die by me. I'm calling it Peacorn Green. If you're like, wow, how did you do that? Last couple of episodes, I've talked to you the saga of the Peacorn, right? And I hand dyed fabrics, bought fabrics, did all the things. She has been a joy in the I'm having so much fun with her. This is the moral of the story. I'm so glad she's finally stitching, and I am using the Vicky Clayton Silk Pack. So I do have mine all, I did those come on the little spools, but I did go ahead and bobbinate them. I used Adam Hart floss drops. This was a custom color from the Keeper Club in January, I think. So I went ahead and I've got my 2 full hoops. I need to find, I'm still working on her. She's going to get a special because this is going to be it's not a lifelong project. I hope it's less than a year, but I haven't planned out exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing right now. I will get into and kind of drill into the plan. I do need to make a working copy of my book because I can tell even in just this short 2 weeks, a page is already pulling out of the staple. So I'm either going to disconnect the whole book and put it in page protectors, which is kind of what I like to do with normal things, but then I'm flipping back and forth. So I'm torn with what to do. I don't know, but I definitely need to figure out a way to extend the life of the pattern book because I'm using it a lot. I did clip my Vicki Clayton chart right here to the front, just so I do have to go back and reference that a little bit. So that is the work on the Peacorn. So a whip that got pulled out this week. One day, a couple days this week, I was just like, I need fill-in. No thinking, no brain. I could have worked on my sweater sleeves, let's be honest, but I didn't. I wanted fill-in stitch work. And so I went to my project library right here and I was like, look at it. It's like, which one has got ready for fill-in? And so I pulled out an oldie but a goodie, slow and steady, right? And she was ready. She's still ready. Lots of fill-in available. So this is American Sampler by Plum Street. Let me pull out the chart for you, just in case you're like, ooh, what's that? It's called American Sampler. You can see it's really dark on the cover. I did do a custom color conversion to Belle Soie's. If you go back into my Instagram, you can see my Belle Soie conversion. It's all Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. I converted all to Belle Soie silks. I keep them in this little sweater bag that I made. So see, there's my silks. So I keep them all in there. And I started this one back when I was at Amana almost a year ago. And so I started this there. It's a slow project. I should have just dedicated the patriotic stitching season to it, but I didn't. I zigged and zagged and squirreled with the best of them. But she is always ready for some fill-in setup work. And so you can see what I did is I've got it all set up for just brick fill-in. So you can see I worked on, that's what I did last time you saw her. I don't remember, but she barely had any bricks. Now she's got a quarter of the house bricks. I changed this. Now I think it's charted for either 2 or 3 reds. Very randomly, very sporadic. I'm not a really good rule follower. So what I did is I went ahead and I filled in the mortar so you can see I've got the bricks all laid out and where they go. And then I'm using 2 different Belle Soie color reds that are also extremely variegated to give myself the texture and the depth of the red. And I'm really, really loving it. As well as she's also set up for some just green stitching. So you can see just the green grass, the pasture fields that goes all the way across. So I've got some work to do. This is also a case where I think it's charted in 1 or 2 greens. I am using 2 variegated greens kind of just to give the grass some definition. I'm pretty excited that I finished the words. I don't remember when I finished the words, but she is just in fill-in world right now. I would like to get across and maybe do some more of the gobbledygook over here, but she did get some love this week, so I wanted to show you her. And then last but not least was a new start from last time. I don't want to say last week because it wasn't last week. It was last time. I would love to get a couple ornaments done. I love stitching Christmas ornaments. I wish I should just buckle down and started stitching Christmas ornaments all the time, year round. But I definitely love to stitch in season. I've got my tree up. Now, it's not decorated. So I'm normally a November 1st, pull it all out, get her done. But you'll see why I haven't done that later. But at least this week I did get the 2 trees out of storage. Yes, I'm a fake girl tree because when you have a tree up for 60 days, you can't have a real one. And I'm okay with it. So the trees are up, the twinkle lights are on at night. So that's exciting, but I haven't gone through the process of pulling out the decorations to put on the trees. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, but Christmas ornaments, I'm stitching those. So this is something I pulled out Let me take it out of the bag so you don't get the glare of the bag. But this is Heartstring Samplery. It's called Advent Season Ornament Set. It's so, so sweet. So my favorite one is this Joy one. So that's, of course, what I stitched first. And I actually gave 2 new starts to those. So I believe, I honestly don't remember where I was last time. It didn't matter. You're going to see it again. So it's just 3 colors, which is super great. I just pulled from Stash. I pulled a white, a green, and a red. Easy peasy, right? Coloring carton chartreuse, but it's the chartreuse with the red sticker. So that means it was like a mist-dye. It was one of their like mist-dye packs that they sell, which is super great. Tusk, which is my white, also has a white sticker. So, and then Ruby Slippers is my red. So I am stitching this on, I think it's called Elephant Run, Fox and Rabbit, 36 count, 1 strand. So this one is done, ready to go. I love it. Love it so much. But what I am telling myself is I'm going to stitch at least 3 of them. The only one that really, I don't know about this hope one. I like the hope, I like the star, but the little dude with the tree, it's the only one that doesn't like jump out at me. I have to have it on my tree. So I think I might just do these 3. So you can see this one's done. I went ahead and started working on the bird, the partridge, the dove, peace dove. But it's a peace dove. But then I also went over here and set myself up for some fill-in. So this is red fill-in ready for game watching, white fill-in ready for game watching. So this one is real close. In case you don't know, I watch a lot of Clemson football. So right here, you can see I'm almost, just fill in some stuff, fill in like one afternoon. I could get that one done. So that's great. So I do want to get all 3 of them stitched. And then I'm going to finish them all together. I love to do batch work like that. So I think that would be, because it's going to be a little tricky. The great thing about this pattern is it does come with the templates. And I think 95% sure that the templates are based on 36 count. So she gives you the templates to do this nice little curved, not rectangular curved top finish that are in the pattern, which is super great. I love that bonus. When the designers actually like think through the whole thing, they want to help you succeed, which I think is super great. So that was actually all the stitching I did. So we're going to stay with stitching right now, just because I know that there's some friends that are not super quilty. So I don't want you to miss the little combo thing we have. So we're going to have stitching, combo, and then we'll go to quilting, and then we'll do Tiger Shop update. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the combo, the stitching and quilting overlap project that I have been working on, and that I'm so excited to share with you. Are you ready? Okay. Now, if you've heard, I've told you guys at least once. And I know Jessica announced it again this week on her channel. Anniversaries of the Heart. Anniversaries of the Heart is a series of Blackbird patterns that have been around, I feel like, for 10 plus years. And over a period of time, I have seen lots of floss tubers or Instagram friends that have stitched the piece. Whether it's separate, they stitch some of the pieces, they stitched all of the pieces. It's a 12 pattern book. Okay, hold on. So I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give that part of it away. Hold on. So in it, let's just run through it real quick in case you're like, So what I have done, hold on. Okay. So I did go and I printed out for you guys. So just because I'm going to stitch it all. So like I said, you can stitch it all in one piece, or you can stitch it as separate pieces. And I'll go through the charts real quick. But this is one of the pieces. There's a Facebook group that is like dedicated to the Anniversaries of the Heart. So much eye candy, so many things, so many great ideas, because there's a lot of people that customize it, change colors, do all the things. But layout wise, I wanted to bring you guys 2 things that I'm still tottering, deciding between horizontal, which is 3 this way and 5 this way. Now you're like, wait, Kari, not to like correct you, but that's 15 blocks, not 12. Yes, you're right. There's 12 blocks, 12 patterns, but one of the charts comes with a bonus and another chart comes with a double wide bonus. So that's this one and this one are actually bonus charts that are in the books. And I'll tell you guys when we go through the books which ones they're in. So that's how you get to 15. So like I said, there's lots of friends that have not only Some of them do the whole thing, just as is, called for as is, do all the things. This is how Blackbird lays it out, like this, the 3x5. There's some friends that just pick like their 6 favorite blocks. You know, you may not love them all. It doesn't matter. Like I said, there's lots of things, but I would love, so Jessica and I are going to be doing the Anniversaries of the Heart in 2025. This is it is like November 15th. So we still have 45 days before we haven't decided. We haven't confirmed it's a new year, new start type of situation, but it's definitely we're working towards the goal of 1 block per month. 1 block per month only gets you 12. Jessica, have we done that math? No. So, but there's 15. Well, there's 15 and there's 14, and then there's 1 jumbo that is as big as 2. So if we want to do it in a year in 2025, we're going to have to double up on 2.5 months. Anyway, I wanted to show you the 2 different layouts that I found that I'm considering. Like I said, there's the horizontal one. Oh, there's the vertical one. Horizontal, vertical. Yeah. So it's the same 3x5, but it's set up differently. So you get to decide which one speaks to you. So I'm doing my research. I'm prepping. And that's why I'm bringing you along, because this is a year-long process, because this is a very not complicated, but it's 12 charts, 15 blocks actually. So many threads. We're going to get into the threads and what I did, because I'm a little bit of an Excel spreadsheet junkie and I'm so excited. I'm going to share it with you, but let me just show you. So let's just go through the charts lickety split, just so you can see exactly, because it's kind of hard to tell in this situation. So a lot of these, the great thing about this is a lot of the friends and people that I've been watching do, they personalize each block. You pick a sister, a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a great whatever. So I am also working on figuring out who gets what block. And so if you've been around a while, you're like, wait a minute, you've already stitched this. Yes. Let's call out the elephant in the room, shall we? Hold on. The elephant is here. Yes, you're right. Thanks so much for asking, friends. Yep, sure did. I've stitched 2. Now, this has been in my whip box 3 years, 4 years, I don't know, for a hot minute. And so if you've been around a while too, you also know the transition, the growth, the switch. I used to be a purely only Aida girl. Now I still love Aida. I still have lots of projects in my library that are Aida, but I have switched to 36 count linen is like my sweet spot right this second. And so that is why I firmly believe I am not picking this girl up anymore. She is being stitched on 14 count something or other. Don't even know. I wasn't writing it down then. And that's when I started. This says, and so you can see I did the funky, the month is as big as a house. My daughter thinks that's hilarious whenever cross-stitch designers do that. So I put Lily down there, and then the Maxine is the pink house. So that is my grandmother, Maxine. It's also Lily's middle name. So I have those 2 blocks. I didn't start in block 1. I obviously started over here on this side. But over the years, I've decided I'm not picking her up. I don't love her on this fabric. Blackbird has a lot of over 1. I'm just going to be real honest with you. You can totally stitch it on Aida, and I did, and I personalized it on Aida. I had to do a lot of recharting though, because a lot of the words and the personalization areas were all over 1, which is hard to do on Aida. I just don't like to do it. And so that's another reason why I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do that again. I have to rechart it and da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, so that is why I'm restarting. I am restarting, finding a perfect fabric, which I found the fabric that I think is going to be the winner, and I'll share it with you in a minute. But let's look at the charts real quick. So this is, I'm going to go 1 through 12 in order. Snow Garden. Now this is the one that there's a lot of friends who talk about this one kind of like ghosting. You can see it's Snow Garden. Okay, so it's light. So your fabric has to be dark enough to be able to see, let the white pop. And of course, it's charted in overdyes, overdyes. There's also a DMC conversion, but like I said, this was done. Let's just find, what year was this? 2010, friends. 14, almost 15 years ago. Overdyed lots have changed. We don't have to talk about that again, but that's what they're charted in. So Snow Garden, Valentine Rose, A Wish for You, Pink Hill Manor. So that's one of the ones I actually have done. Farmhouse. Look at the big house and the birds and the such. Happy Birthday. So this is Swan Lake, and you can see right here, it says bonus pattern also included. So this is where one of the bonuses is in the Swan Lake. So fun. Clara Ellen. Moonlight Visitor. This is the other one that I had done before, you know, with this purple moth. Love it. Pumpkin Farm. Evergreen Lane. And what's this one called? Elizabeth Jane. Here, I'm reading backwards. And this also has the bonus. You can see right here. It says bonus pattern. So this is where the double wide bonus is. So there's 12 charts. I will link them down below if they're available. I'm pretty sure. We talked about it this week on my Stitchy Friend Zoom. I am 95% sure these are all, none of them are out of print right now. It might be a little harder to find because I feel like beginning of the year, it's kind of like getting a gym membership. Everybody like picks a big sale, and this is becoming a little more popular to research if you haven't done it yet. And so that's the reason. So I will do a little bit of research, do a little recon, and see if I can find some shops that have them. So as you saw during my little chart parade, that there's 12 patterns. Those were all stitched separately. I'm going to stitch it definitely on one big piece. Now, what I have done, like I said, because I'm in Excel, I'm a spreadsheet junkie, going through 12 charts and trying to figure out the floss. Okay, yes. You're overwhelmed? I'm overwhelmed. So what I did, because I'm a goofball, as I have a spreadsheet. Now, this is going to be a link on my Patreon. So don't worry about trying to screenshot and snap and take a picture and all the things. That's complicated. So right here, this is going to be a PDF printout available on my Patreon. And let me tell you what it is. So it tells you Anniversaries of the Heart. We haven't talked about this yet, Jessica, but I came up with a very original hashtag. AOTH, Anniversaries of the Heart. Right, I said very original. Sal 2025. Get crazy, people. And then I've identified the 12 patterns and their charts. So I did do the math over here. So over here in the right-hand corner, it talks to you about the full size. If you do a 5-space, and 5 space might be too many. So you can, worst, I don't think you want to do bigger than 5 spaces. So that's why I aired on more is better. So the spaces between each blocks. When I did it before, I just looked, I had 3 spaces. So I might do 3, but I've done the math for in case you want 5. And if you were doing like this orientation, actually it'd be the same this way, either way. So if you do a 5-space orientation or 5 space between each block, the size ends up being 265 by 395. Step 1. The math associated with a 36 count or an 18 count, right? So either one is 14.7 by 21.9. Okay, that's just the design. Asterisk, red flag, don't do it. Don't buy it like that. Depends on your margin. Are you a 2-inch margin, 2.5 inch, 3-inch margin? What kind of margin do you want? Now I've never got anything professionally framed, so I can't even say 99%. 100%. I frame myself. So I can be a little tight with the margins. I probably will go ahead and do a 3-inch margin only because you got to go half fat, half thin. Anyway, let me just tell you why. If you go to a 2-inch margin, so 2 inches on either side, it's 18.7 by 25.9. That is the tightest on, you're like 18.7 is actually big, is 0.7 inches over a fat quarter. So if you went to 40 count, you'd be good to go. You'd be good to go with a 2-inch margin, 40 count, you could do it on a fat quarter. But if you're doing anything bigger than a 20 or a 40 count, you really have to do fat half. Is my recommendation. Obviously, don't come at me, but that's my math. And my math with a 3-inch margin is 20.7 by 27.9. So basically 21 by 28. Perfect for a fat half. Set yourself up for success. I always worry, especially these projects that are going to take all year or more. You know, what if it was cut on especially linen? Sometimes it gets a little whoop and whoop. So fat half is my recommendation on that. Okay, but so down below, you can see there's a bunch of words and a bunch of grids and all the things. Okay, what I did, because in my existing bag, because I've started this and I had all these floss. This doesn't look like it's enough. This doesn't look like all the floss. I thought I had it all kitted up, but I'm thinking over the years, I have borrowed with good intentions of putting back, but not, flosses from this whip. And now here I am. There's no way that this is all the flosses for the chart. So I had to spreadsheet it because that's who I am. And so what I have done, it's charted in 3 different colors: Gentle Arts, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. Okay. These are the words. These are the names of the colors. They're sorted in alphabetical order now. And then you see these little numbers across the way. That means they're in that chart. So for example, whatever this is, look at how active that one is. Old Purple Paint. Yes. That floss is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the charts. So I did this for myself as well as for you. Like I said, you can download this. This is a PDF on my Patreon, and you can then pull your charts, and you don't have to reference all 12 charts. I'm just trying to help you succeed because I needed it to succeed. So I thought I'd share with you. And so it's one of those things where now I'm going to be able to go through, check off. I'm going to set myself up. This is why I'm doing this in November. I've got time. So I'm going to take my floss and cross off or highlight what I do have. I'm also going to, while I'm looking, I know purple paint doesn't get used to like fill in a house, I'm pretty sure, but it does fill in that butterfly. So I just want to take into consideration if the floss is used multiple endive. Endive is like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I'm going to tell you that's going to be in the border. That there's always green everywhere, right? So I just want to make sure that when I'm buying when I'm kitting this up fully, that I also take into consideration, do I need to get 2 or maybe even 3 skeins now so that my floss are the same dye lot, so I don't have to worry like 6 months from now when I run out. And endive doesn't change a lot, but you know what I'm saying. So that's why I made this for myself. Hopefully it's helpful for you. You can pull from stash. And then also once you pull from stash, once you decide, so like one of these is only used once, I will probably go and look at that chart, see how much is actually used in said one chart, and then decide, is it a predominant stitch in that chart? Or is it like 10 stitches? And if it's 10 stitches, then I get to make the decision whether I want to buy the overdyed or just use the DMC equivalent. So I'm setting yourselves up. So hopefully it's helpful. You've got time. You can use this. This is a tool, hopefully, to help you. So, like I said, this is on Patreon. It's linked down below. But that's not all, friends. Okay, are you ready for the most exciting part? At least, like I said, kitting up, I find fun. If I find the time, if I make the time, you have to make the time. I make the time to kit it up properly and do these Excel charts and put all my things. And more than likely, I will put these all on floss drops. Like I will just over the top, especially things that are going to be around for a while, right? So I know this one's going to be around. The first iteration has been around for years. Now this new one on 36 count linen. Ooh, let me show you. So I did go through my stash as well. And I think I've got it. Now I'm going to wait. So I do have the prerogative to change my mind, and I might. But so far, the floss I have looks really good. It's a floss toss. I did it this morning. I pulled out my entire bucket of 36 count linen. I need to organize that bucket like it's my job. That didn't derail me this morning. I pulled it all out, and then I shoved it back in the bucket and put it away. But I did find what I think. So first I had to organize it with fat quarter, fat half. I knew I needed a fat half. I wanted to shop from Stash or see if I needed to go to an LNS or start deep diving. Buying fabric online for a specific purpose is scary to me just because of the colors and the computer colors. It's not scary. Anyway, but I don't think I need to do it because I did find, who knew what, this is the great thing about having a stash is I don't know why or when I bought this, but I think it's going to be perfect. So I have a fat half of Sleeping Bear, needle and flax Sleeping Bear. Now, it's a little white right here, but the rest of it, so for example, as long as I choose accordingly and make sure that the one that's like a ghosted out is in the dark area, and I haven't laid it out and fiddled it around, like this looks pretty dark. So maybe if I do it. Anyway, the rest of this fabric is gorgeous. So this is Needle and Flax Sleeping Bear. And so far, this is the front runner for what I'm going to stitch on. Now, like I said, it is my prerogative. I might change my mind when it comes down to it. Stay tuned. But as of right now, the colors that I have so far look pretty awesome on Sleeping Bear. So I'm pretty excited about it. Needle and Flax Sleeping Bear. So it's a nice, warm, I think the called for colors is all different called for colors. Because they're stitched separately, but I do believe it says in there, I think it was an R&R, you can't get anymore. I mean, it's a 15-year-old chart, so no surprises there. But, and I think Jessica, she told us this week, light exemplar, Lakeside Linen. I was shocked I didn't have that. I have it in fat quarters and I have it in 40 count, but I don't think that's what I want to do. I want to do this in 36. I want it to be happy. I want it to be my sweet spot. So I am going to do it in 36, and I don't have a Lakeside fat half in 36. Now, could I go up to my LNS? Maybe. And I might. But right now, that's where we are. Okay, that's the fabric. So step 1, crazy chart. Step 2, pull some floss. Still have to work on that. Working. But I have my chart now, so I'm going to be able to cross that off. Got my fabric. Check. Okay, the next part, as a project bag maker, as a project keeper maker, of course, who's surprised? I have to make a special keeper for this. This can't just be just pulling a keeper out of the bin. No. So that is where my creative juice is. Once my to-do list for work was crossed off and I could breathe a little bit, we'll talk about that, but I was breathing and I was like, that's when all the juices were flowing. I'm like, okay, I need this. I need to do this. So like I said, creative juice is flowing. I've got paper and pencil and I'm sketching. That is my mode of juices flowing. And this is what I sketch. I sketch a heart. I was like, anniversaries of the heart. It's got to have a heart. First, I was just going to do hearts. It's like, okay, well, yeah. But this thing has a lot of houses. Like, I'm pretty sure almost all the blocks, except for one, has a house on it. So I was like, well, it's got to have a house. And, well, you got to have some trees or some flowers. So I sketched this. And I was like, how the heck am I going to do that? Okay. Well, fast forward 2.5 more days of sketching and playing and prototyping. And like I said, that is my process. One day, maybe I'll bring you along in the from sketch to finish process. But it was literally 2.5 days. But this is the end result. Okay. Yes, I'm super excited about it. This is my Anniversaries of the Heart Keeper. Now, if you're a keeper collector, you're like, wait a minute, that looks big. It is a little bit. I did have to custom size the keeper. It's the same height, but the dimensions of the keeper changed a little bit. But for the most part, this is just my original design keeper, right? So if you don't know what this is, I sell this as a pattern, or I sell keepers in the Keeper Club, but this is my keeper. And the greatest thing about this, I love my is that, so all my charts, they all fit back here. And then I'm in the, there will be a floss keeper that is in prototype land right now that will corral all the floss, because there are this many of them, right? So I need a special floss keeper that I'm working on making, and then my project's going to go here and all the things. So, and my 4-pocket keeper. But back to the cover. So this is made with Tilda Sanctuary. So this is her new line. I will link it down below if you're like attached to it. But I'm using this for my Swoon quilt. So I had all these scraps from when you cut out I had cut all my blocks for the Swoon quilt. And of course I'm a scrap keeper, or fabric scrap keeper. And so I was like, okay, so then I started playing and doing all the things. So this was my first actual like completed block. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I can hardly stand it. What if my friends want to make it too? So then once I decided I was going to create and share with you guys this pattern, this foundation paper piecing pattern. Now, if you're new to foundation or paper piecing, it's easy. Just follow the steps. And as I've said before, I love to teach. I love to share new things, to teach you guys a new skill. So hopefully you're excited about it. So once I decided that I was going to share this pattern and put it out there for you guys, I was like, well, there's no way I'm just going to put this pattern out there and not share them how to do it, because that's not how I learn. So then I have painstakingly have 6 or 7 prototypes, but I did it again. This is using Tilda Creating Memories, the winter collection, with the pattern. So I know the pattern works. And step by step, I videoed it. I videoed sewing each step, which is my favorite thing to do. That is how my keeper pattern is. It's a step-by-step, pause it, do it, pause it, watch it, do it. You can do that all day long. This is on my YouTube channel. It will be live when this video goes live. I'm trying to do them both today. So the video will be up and the pattern will be up. Everything will be linked down below. You can go and grab it and you can start sewing it. Now, this is just going to give you the block pattern. So you either make it into a project bag. If you're a project bag maker, put it into a project bag. You can make it into a pillow. You can make it into anything you want. If you want to make it into the keeper, you also have to get the keeper pattern or have it already. And then I will do a supplemental keeper measurement change sheet so that if you wanted to adapt the keeper measurements for the standard keeper, you see. Let's just pull one out, shall we? So the standard keeper is, well, that one's stuffed, but so it's a little wider, right? The measurements change just a little bit. So I will have that available as well. So, but you have to have the keeper pattern to be able to do that. So anyway, if you're doing Anniversaries of the Heart, if you just want to make this blog, whatever you want to do, I just had so much fun. Hopefully you love it. I can't wait to see it. So you could use whatever fabric. That's the great thing about foundation paper piecing. You can use fabrics. You can use scraps. These was all scraps. This was, like I said, Tilda. Both of these were Tilda just because that's what I had. It was handy. I kind of feel like it goes with the Blackbird vibe. And, but you could make your house green. You could make your house, you could do anything, any colors. So it's 5 different colors: the heart, the house, the roof, the tree, and then the background. And it's not easy. I will not mislead you. It is not easy, but it's not hard. You just do it step by step. And I've been working on the video and I'm taking you step by step so you can do it. You can do it. Anyway, that is where I am with all of the things. What else do I have? I have a little bit of Fat Quarter Shop Happy Mail that they sent. Let me share with you. So it was a great mail day the last 2 weeks. Fat Quarter Shop sent me a fantastic bundle of all their new goodies for me to share with you. So let me run through them real quick. So this is the mini Simply Signs. It's part of a series they've got going on. Look at the boo with the triple O's. That's adorable. But you could just totally pull out the bat or pull out these pumpkins or ghosts and make little smalls just on their own if you want totally wanting the whole sign. Then they have Pumpkin Pals. I love the kind of dimension that the two-tone pumpkins give you to stitch that. So cute. So, and then the last stitchy one they sent was the October pumpkins. It's also part of their shelf life series. This is a great, cute series that they have going on. So we're just collecting all of those. Then there were, this is Hometown Neighborhood Sunflower House. Such a sweet, this is a series by Lori Holt with all these huge houses. Look at that fill-in. That's fill-in for days. I love it so much. So you could do it with just leaving the words off. You could do it just the sunflower on its own would be a cute little pillow stand-up. Because sometimes that house stitching, that's a lot, right? Then we've got the stitch cards by Lori Holt. I love these monotone. There's monochromatic stitch cards. This Saltbox house is my favorite. I love all these. They're interchangeable. They go with each other, all that. And then there's two quilting things. Super excited about it. One is called the Goose and Gander. Such a sweet 66 by 66 quilt. It will be a great little lap quilt. Yeah, that's a great lap quilt. It's like a version of a sawtooth star with the pinwheel on the inside. And then you've got your 9 patches all around. I haven't looked at the pattern, but it's kind of a mix of a couple different blocks, the little churn dash here. And then this book. Oh my gosh. This has been, Kimberly Jolly has been spoiling this one or sneak peeking this one for a while. And I am so excited to finally have this in my hands. It is a beautiful book. It is nice spiral bound cover, 256 pages, friends. And that's because the full color, all the thing, I mean, just the directions are fantastic. There are so many quilts. Okay, so here's just a look. It's by the seasons, right? Prairie Home. But she's got spring, summer, fall, and winter. Do you see that? And each one of these words is a different quilt that's in this book. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 3, 6, 10, 10, 11, and so over 40 quilts. 4 seasons, approximately 10 per season, 40 quilts or quilt projects. Some of them is a table topper, so that's more of like a table runner versus a quilt. So I did go ahead and I did a full flip through and I picked out one favorite quilt from each season. I just want to show you guys it because it's so fun. I mean, I wish I could show you all 40 quilts because I really think that would get y'all excited about the book. But let me see. Hold on. What can I do without? I don't want to share all the secret stuff, but I do just want to show you. So this is from the first one, what I think is spring. It's called the Prairie Blossom Quilt. It's so sweet and fun. And it's such a sweet, sweet block. It is fat eighth friendly. It's got a couple extra fabrics that you need more than a fat eighth for to do like the sashing and the binding and things like that. But for the most part, a fat eighth, which is super great. So you could actually also just use scrappy. That would be a super cute scrappy quilt. This is from the summer collection, which is fat quarter friendly, but then also, except for some of the main ones you do need, but you don't have to do those colors. But look how sweet. That one's called the Prairie Sunset Quilt. Of course it is. I love it. I love it. All right, so that was in the summer, I think. Let's see. Then we get into the fall one. So my favorite fall was called Prairie Paws. Now, this is a iteration. Listen, quilting has been around for a zillion years, 200 years, whatever, a long time. So these blocks, a lot of these blocks are not, I could pull out one of my heirloom quilt blocks and be like, so this block is called like a bear claw back in the days. But Lori Holt has put her own twist on it, her own color combination. She sashed it. She's added things to it just to put a little twist on a quilt block. So she calls it the Prairie Paws quilt. So like I said, the bear claw, that little, this little trident right here is called a bear claw block. And it's just super fun. So this is also, let's see, fat quarters, scrappy prints, fat quarters. You do need some more of the other fabrics, the sashing and the binding, but the rest of it's fat quarter friendly, which is always great. 20 fat quarters, so that's usually more than what's in a bundle. And this is speaking to me now because it's kind of Christmassy, but who doesn't love, I love a red and white quilt, just an all red with white. So I have a couple red and white bundles that I just want to do like a red quilt. And so this one is super, super sweet. Should come together. She says you need basically 1 yard each of 12 different reds. And that's how you're going to make those 12 blocks. My guess is it looks complicated, but it's not. Okay, so I love it when they shortcut it. I love it when a designer, a quilt pattern designer, takes the time to actually think through, is there a shortcut? Is there a way to not sew 7,200 tiny squares together? Yes, there is. It's called strip quilting, and you're going to strip all your red and whites together and then cut, right? And so I'm not going to give away the pattern, but the good news is Lori Holt is a quality designer, and she's taken the time to help you succeed. Yay. So anyway, this is a fantastic book, and I'm excited. I do want to go ahead. Fantastic book. I will link it down below. It's available from Fat Quarter Shop. It is fantastic. Put it on your Christmas list. Treat yourself to it now. I'm going to pick a quilt I think that I want to do for myself. Maybe like a January quilt along. Just kick off the year with some fun. And so I think it's going to come from this book. I'm going to deep dive a little bit and see if there's one that I like, but that's coming. Okay. Yay! So that is my stitching and my quilting and my foundation paper piecing because I squirreled, and my Peacorn and my Anniversaries of the Heart and my Fat Quarter Shop Stitchy Kindness. Let's do a little bit of Tiger Lily Shop update, a little bit of life update, what I've been doing, what I'm going to be doing, all the things. So last week I didn't show up. I wasn't here last Flosstube Friday because I did my patchwork project bag. Let me grab it. So this is my patchwork project bag class. There were 6 different fabric styles. This is the one I sewed during class. So if you came to my class, thank you. I had so much fun. I'm loving these Make with Tiger Lilies. I've already got the ideas. Wheels are spinning for 2025 and the ideas that we're going to be doing for some more Make with Me's. Spoiler alert, we will be doing this class again because I had a lot of people come to me after the fact that missed out. So I'm pulling new fabrics. Spoiler, I just got Tula Pink's Untamed entire bolt collection. It's gorgeous. So, still working it out, still figuring out what's what. But we will definitely be doing this again. I will be selling kits again. So hopefully that was fun. I can tell that I've got lots of friends that have been tagging me, have been sharing with me, or are hooked and making these bags for their friends for the holidays, which I think is fantastic. It's so much fun. So that's what I was busy. So last week was crazy Boxlandia. I got the Advent boxes, the 12 Days of Stitchmas boxes out all by Thursday or Friday of last week. And then I had the class on Saturday that I had to totally prep for. So that is why I was MIA on Friday. Too many things to do. But this week I've just been like, sitting around eating bonbon. No. But anywho, the good news is, you ready for it? So what does that mean? That means it is time for the extra Advent box sale. So I always make and keep extra. I have extra boxes because I never want the gremlins to steal your box. And yes, I could just refund you and say I'm sorry, but that makes me sad for you. And so I always make extra so that I can replace the box if the gremlins take possession. So far, like I said, there are 3 that have possibly been intercepted. So I am holding back 3. I am holding back 3 for a couple more days until I get where are these guys, where are these things going? The moral of the story is right now, live, I don't know when you're watching this, so that could be sold out. But right now, I have listed the extra boxes on my website. The link is down below. There's only so many. I kept 12. I'm keeping 3 for the gremlin babies. So that means there were 9. Math, right? So that was today. That is Friday as I film. That was live. I know that there's a couple that must be watching other people talk about, because I know like Holly Neal has opened up her box. She did not share anything. But sweet person that she is, did tell you guys about my extra boxes. So I don't know exactly how they found it, but a handful have already found the boxes on the website. So I'm less than 9. They started off as 9. Moral of the story is there's some extra today. And then come Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, I'm going to, see as we go. I will list the last 3 or those are going to get taken by or maybe not, because they have to be gremlin replacements. I don't know. What I do know is today, and that's where we are. That's the Advent update. So that is the boxes. That's my 12 days of Stitchmas. I'm super excited. The feedback from the handful of friends that have opened their boxes who didn't wait until December 1st. You know who you are. Thankfully, they love it. So that's exciting. I put my heart and soul in this box, and this one's going to be hard to beat. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, to be honest with you. I am still noodling about the 2025 plans regarding the Keeper Club. I am this close to pulling the trigger and telling you guys a change, a shift for 2025. I want to just stew on it for one more week before I declare ultimately the change. But there will be some changes. I'm just I want to make sure that I can get everything done. I want to make sure I can have as many people as possible in the club that want to be in it. If you haven't joined the wait list, the link is down below. Always join the wait list, or you can join my Patreon. I always notify them. They get early access to anything like that. So that is where we are, friends. Yes. So next week, I'm going to pretty much guarantee you that I will not be here on Friday. I am traveling down to Clemson again. It is football game weekend at Citadel or at Clemson, and a 2-game weekend in a row with Thanksgiving in the middle. And so of course I'm going to be there. So that's where I'm going to be. There is a high probability that I will actually be in Clemson for longer. And, but I will still be doing my 12 days of Stitchmas. So we're just going to kind of ebb and flow with things and how they go. My mom job is my number 1 job. And if I need to be in Clemson to do that job, I'm going to do it. So I will bring my other job with me. Don't worry. I will come and do the 12 days of Stitchmas starting December 1st. You just might have a different backdrop behind me because I'm filming somewhere else. But the days and the openings won't affect you, right? I have to decide how much I'm going to bring with me, because if I'm going to open another Advent or 2, because I did get the Kitten Stitcher Advent. Sure did, because I really liked it. I got it like 2 or 3 years ago. So fun. So I did get the Kitten Stitcher Advent, and I might have gotten a yarn or 2 Advent. So the question is, do I want to open them daily? Do I just want to open them all like tomorrow, just as a little special treat? I don't need a special treat right now, so I'll save it until I need to pick me up. But anyway, now I'm rambling. Can totally tell I'm rambling. So that is what I've got. Just stay tuned. I will tell you guys where I am, what I'm doing. I'll keep you posted on Instagram. That is where I come and I tell you guys if I'm going to be MIA on Flosstube. I usually put a story, maybe a post, just depending on how wonkadoo my post is or how crazy my story is. Oh, hold on. It's staring right here. I mean, it's 1 block. But I want to show you. Look, my Swoon block. Yes, I'm doing the Swoon along with 10 fantastic friends. I love my friends. And there's so many of my friends who are overachievers. You know who you are. I'm super excited for you. I'm one block down. It's the Swoon 16, so that means I have to do 16 blocks. I have one. This one, I had intentions of doing 3 the day I quilted this one. But if you saw on my stories, I had stitched this like upside down and backwards. I'm Team Frog when it comes to stitching. I just adapt. But with quilting and all the blocks being that I couldn't, so I had, me and my seam ripper were super big friends that day. So I only have one block. I had to walk away after that one block. So I do have the other ones cut and they're already all matched and ready to go. That's where you're, now I'm totally rambling. That's it. That's it. I don't know when I'm going to be back. I don't know. So come check me. I will be doing a Sampler box unboxing because I did do 3 more peaceful basket quilt blocks. I did do that. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox the Sampler for October because the November one's probably in my mailbox right now. Let's just be honest. So that's for real the end, friends. So until next time, friends, happy stitching.